Thinking about buying this place? Here's some things to think about before you make that decision. So as a wealth manager, one of the most common questions I'm asked is, should I buy a vacation property? So let me take you through how I help people evaluate that. First, I'd like to think about the fact that the income that we earn tends to go to one of four places. First, taxes. Second, we spend it to maintain our lifestyle. Third, we invest it for the future. Or finally, we give it away to help others. So this is where it can get tricky when we're talking about a vacation property. Is the vacation home an investment, or is it a lifestyle expense? And I think a lot of people's initial reaction is, well, it's some of both. And typically I push back a little bit with people on that and encourage people to think about it as a lifestyle expense. There's nothing wrong with using a portion of your income or a portion of your assets to enhance your lifestyle, to provide a great place to make memories with people that you love. But a lot of times people think of it more as an investment rather than a lifestyle expense. And if they do, I push back a little bit and I say, well, okay, if you're thinking of it as an investment, I assume you're planning to rent the property. So you're going to have other people sleeping in your bed and using your home. And I encourage people to think through the specifics. Write a business plan to say, do you know what the market rents are for your property? Do you even know that the zoning allows you to rent the property? Who's going to do it? Are you going to do it, or are you going to hire a property management company to handle things? Who's going to communicate with potential tenants? How are you going to find those tenants? How are you going to handle things like security deposits and property damage and cleaning and all the responsibilities that go into it? And then run the numbers and say, how does this look as an investment compared to other alternatives that you might do with your money? Most people at that point say, okay, I give. You're right. It's a lifestyle expense. But for some people, it actually is an investment or has an investment component that they can factor into their financial plan. So once we've thought through those issues, then I look at, can we really afford it? How much of the money that we would otherwise invest for the future or have invested in growing for our future would be consumed on the purchase of the property, and how will that impact your future ability to achieve your other financial goals, whether it be a secure retirement or college funding or other things that you might think about for the future. How does it impact that? So taking a real fair assessment of those things, this is where a financial advisor can be helpful. Even if you are a financial advisor, to get a second independent opinion and have somebody take a look at that and really talk through what will your financial future, what's it likely to look like if you make the purchase as opposed to the other alternative if you don't, and run some comparisons on that. From that point, I would encourage or challenge people to think about the location that they're looking at and to say, do you really know, have you done your homework, and do you really know that the place you're considering purchasing a property is really where you want to be? Have you spent enough time there throughout various seasons of the year? It's easy to go to a place that's beautiful on vacation and say, I'd love to have a place here, it's wonderful, but to really check it out during other times of the year, to get to know the neighborhood, to understand what the costs are and the expenses of the property, and what's the flood risk, what's the, how often do hurricanes hit the area, or whatever the geographical location you might be looking at. What are the pros and cons of being there, and how is travel there? What is that going to cost? And kind of building that into your evaluation of it. And do you really have the time to get away as often as you might think you would? We've had a number of people that maybe made kind of an impulse buy, and then over time they found, wow, I just can't get there as often as I thought I could, that end up turning around and selling the property later. So again, we've all heard of situations where people bought a beach home and sold it for double the money 5 years later, or bought a hunting cabin and struck Marcellus Shale and are getting gas royalties every month. But that's what people like to talk about at cocktail parties, and what people don't like to talk about is the stress of a hurricane coming through, and condo fees and maintenance costs, and the headaches and hassles of having a property. So it's important that you really think it through and do your homework and make a good decision. If there's things we can do to help, we'd love to chat. Please reach out to us. Thanks.